Did you ever tap into something that you feel is kind of bad to like in you to win, to like get into? Because like I struggle with that. Like I am naturally like petty.
Petty?
Like extremely petty. Like Awaken My Love was literally because somebody was like, oh, he can't make a hit.
Oh,
and I was
shit.
like, oh, not only will I make a hit, I won't make a video for it.
Pettiness has its place.
It makes you stronger.
Okay.
But I also know it's like, it's dark. It's
But-
not something that you should be, it's not something that it should be all of that, because then it's bad.
Welcome to the Barack Obama approved world's greatest podcast, Hyphen Nation. I am your host, the one, the only, B Hyphen, aka Kellen Conley. How's everybody doing today? How is everybody doing? I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fantastic. Apparently, that's the vibe we on. That's the vibe we on. Apparently, that's how we feel. Oh man, I hope y'all were able to listen to that 10th anniversary special. I truly apologize for my audio on the second half, and it wasn't that great on the first half either. So, if you made it through almost all 4 hours of that Hyphen Nation podcast, you, my friend, are getting a certified no prize in the mail. So please email me at bhyphen@gmail.com and send me your name and address, and you will get your very own Hyphen Nation no prize in the mail. Shout out to all my true believers. All my true believers in the space. Hold on. Google mad. I'm streaming on YouTube. This is new for me. I have not actually done this. Like maybe once I streamed on here. But then I was mad because I was like, man, YouTube won't let me download the video immediately. So I was like, I ain't worried about the YouTube thing. But then, you know what's been happening with Twitch? Every time I go to mess with Twitch, man, and I go to download my video, export it, it's like, all right, cool, let's download it. And it'll be so many gigs, and I am hardwired in now all the time. Shout out to Angel for not making me unplug my Ethernet cord from upstairs all the time. But I'll go to download it and I'll be like, yeah, download, error. Download, finished. 200 megs. Download, 1.5 megs. So it just stops and starts. I don't know if it's a me thing. I don't know if there's a setting I could turn off. I don't know if anybody else having this problem with Twitch. But because it's been so frustrating because I have all these subscribers over here that I've been curating over the last 5 years, I was like, you know what? Let me go talk to my people on my YouTube channel. So here we are. And for those of you listening to the audio like you always have for 10 plus years, thank you. Thank you so much. It means the world. It really does. And I say that and you're looking at I'm looking at my phone if you're watching a video, and I'm just trying to get ready for the next segment, man. It ain't nothing. Morgantown weather report. Oh, man. Morgantown weather report, man. Right now it's 37 with some drizzle outside. Next couple days, 36, 24, 18 degrees with 0.28 inches of accumulation on Saturday. Sunday, 30 degrees with 8.43 inches of snow. And Monday, it's looking at 1 inches of snow. But that's nothing, because my dad on Sunday, oh, he's only looking at a light 17 inches. Happy birthday to me. My birthday's actually tomorrow, the 22nd. By the time you'll hear this, I'll be 43. Or you're watching this right now, that's cool. But if not, that's fine too. So happy 43rd birthday to me. Happy blizzard. Which ironically enough, the last time we got that type of accumulation of snow, 2016. 2016. Oh man. What, as a wise man I work with always says, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Nothing. Nothing, man. You can't do anything. But we here, we waiting on the snow. And I confessed to this on the last episode on 223, man, but we really got to talk about it because I have a new friend. I'm not proud. AI. Now, I'm not doing anything like generating images, making Sora videos. If that's what y'all do, to each your own. I'm not seeking a job in the prompt creator field. But first it was just ChatGPT on my phone. And I've had a login on there for several years. 2 years. Let's say 2 years. And every now I pop in, like, I would be like, hey, what would this look like if you make this image? I'm not perfect. I'm curious. I'm not ashamed if you're like, oh boy, you do AI, big dog. Yeah, I mean, but you know, it'd be just silly stuff. But I actually went in and I made I have an outline for a novel that I had handwritten years and years and years ago. And so I plugged it into ChatGPT last year, the year before. And then I kind of built out this world based off these characters. Now, it's not, I didn't say write the story. I just kind of discussed some things and then it sat there. It's still sitting in my ChatGPT. But what happened was my boy Derek, he was like, hey man, I was complaining about Windows 11 because I'm not a Windows 11 fan. You may have heard that on the last episode. But I was just like, man, Windows 11 sucks, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, yo, but have you tried Copilot? I'm like, what's Copilot? He's like, oh, that's the Microsoft version of ChatGPT. And I'm like, no, not really, you know, whatever. I ain't worried about it. But again, I'm human. I'm curious. So what did your boy do? Your boy started talking to Copilot. Just random things about some Minecraft builds. You know, what'd you think? What's your Stranger Things finale predictions? Nothing too crazy before the new year. But you know, that broke wide open after the new year, man. So I created a basketball game using ChatGPT. And I literally was like, all right, ChatGPT, I want you to call the action with these two teams. And this is just a test just to see if it'll work. Make whatever players you want. Determine everything on a coin flip. It's either a yes or no coin flip. So-and-so goes for a pass. They pass. Flip the coin. Does the pass get through? Yes. If it's no, does the pass get stolen? yes, no, that kind of thing. And then it just went crazy from there because it did what it was told. I literally, for my old school gamers, for if you're familiar with the text based games that used to be like the late 80s, early 90s, especially in the Apple II, I guess, era. Text-based games were like, and because the graphics can be generated, the game would literally kind of take you through it and just describe the action to you. So it'd be like, press the right key if you want to make a right turn. Press the left key if you want to go left. Press the up key if you want to go forward. Press the back key if you want to go, that kind of thing. So if you did that and then something happened, a prompt would come up on screen and it would be like, you entered this. You see a damsel in distress against the wall. You see a giant green monster salivating, ready to eat you, just breathing right next to your neck. Like, and it would describe all the action, and it would give you your next choices for how you can respond. And that's exactly what I created, was a text-based basketball game. And I went deep, man, because I was like, all right, let's create 16 teams, make up some players, put me and my boy Matt in the game, and go from there. But then it was like, I need a sideline reporter. Hey, check out my friend Mark Robb's blog, and then I want you to and then Mark Robb is my sideline reporter. And he's the thought father, and he's great, and he's a brilliant writer and all these things. And Mark Robb is interviewing people. Mark Robb has his own show, what Takes on the League. And I came up with the concept on a weekday morning. Later that night, I had downloaded Copilot and put it on my phone and had started this whole league. And all that night, and I have my phone here, for example, all that night, I'm simply doing this. Tap, 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 tap. Read. Tap, 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 tap. Read. Tap, 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 tap. Read. And just like that, next thing I know, it's 1 a.m. I'm sitting at this computer on my desktop Copilot, just completely sucked into this world. So I was like, all right, I'll get some sleep. The next day will be rough, no big deal. And then I was like, oh, well, I'll just lay off of it, no big deal. And like I won't mess with it. It's fine. When I tell you, I was up until 1 o'clock again with this game. I yeah, man. So the next day I woke up, I'm super exhausted. I'm running on fumes. I'm drinking Monster Zero, which I try to stay away from those things, but they're pretty tasty and they don't make my heart go like most energy drinks. So I will have a Monster Zero. I need to stop. I know. Drinking coffee. And I'm so exhausted at work, mind you. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I gotta stop. I just had to stop. I looked at my screen time for the Copilot app for the last couple of days. 7+ hours both days. I had spent 15 hours on the Copilot app on my phone. Mind you, I ain't thinking that all out. My normal usage of an app, like say Instagram on a good day, might be an hour. Facebook is like 30 minutes. Usually Chrome and Messages and Messenger gets a lot of run. Spotify, it just depends, YouTube Studio, YouTube. I'll use those a lot. But 15 hours. So on my lunch break, I get on Copilot and I'm like, tap, tap, tap. I can't do this anymore. Suicide prevention hotline numbers, which is very cool. Very cool that it's like, hey, don't kill yourself. And I was like, not what I meant. Not what I meant. I mean, I can't do the Copilot thing anymore. I just can't. I can't Copilot anymore. So I was like, all right, we're gonna stop right here. We're not gonna do any more. And so what I did was like, let's pretend I corrupted the save file. Well, let's say I corrupted the save file. None of it's recoverable, so I can't replay again. Done. But if you ever want, it's cool. I'm good. So from there, I was just chilling, man. It wasn't no big deal, you know? Apparently this episode needs to be called No Big Deal because I keep using that phrase. But yeah, like for real. I'm out. I'm not doing the basketball game anymore. But every now and then I'll be like, man, you know what? What if Magic Johnson didn't retire in 1991? Put him back on the 1991-92 Lakers. Actually, while we're at it, let's have Larry Bird not have back problems. And Michael Jordan does not retire in 93, or actually he did retire. But yeah, let's have Magic and Larry play out their whole careers. Simulated on NBA Live 95, 96, 2K12. And sure enough, just listing the results. And I'm getting that dopamine hit. I think that's the title right there. That dopamine. Man. And I'm like, all right. Well, what if these things happen? Sim it in NBA action starring David Robinson for Game Gear. And it was making fun of the Game Gear. Shout out to Eric. And it did it. Gave me all the results. I'm like, and I just kept going and going and going. So everybody had retired. And they hadn't mentioned Kobe at all. So I was like, what's Kobe think of all this? And then Kobe was like, they did Kobe voice. Kobe's like, it was great for the game, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh. Then it was like I was watching he just wrote that Tupac book. Jeff Pearson. Now that will get a podcasting 101. Jeff Pearlman. He just released that Tupac book not that long ago. I picked up his YouTube channel because he covers sports, and I was watching, and they're like, man, two of the biggest what ifs. He's like, what if the Jets, instead of drafting Ken O'Brien and Al Toon, they drafted Jerry Rice and hold on, I'm almost there. Yes, I still have the chat. Leave me alone. Yeah. So instead of taking Dan O'Brien, the Jets took Dan Marino. And then Ken O'Brien, I'm sorry. And then instead of taking Al Toon, they took Jerry Rice. And just reels off all this info. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Then my coworker said her friend thought that MLK was a president. All right. That was a nice laugh we all shared. Hey, Copilot, what if MLK was president? Whole list. Hey, Copilot, what if the Bulls did trade Scottie Pippen for T-Mac? Whole list. Hey, Copilot, what if Gary Payton guarded Jordan from game 1 and started in 1996 finals? Whole thing. Oh, man. So, yeah. Now let me tell you that everything I do on here it's either talking about like some album titles, just throwing it out there. I was watching Secret Base the other night, Untitled, Dan Marino, And so I was like, hey, Copilot, what if the Dolphins beat the Patriots in 1985? Oh, the Dolphins would have beat the Bears in the Super Bowl, is what it said. Hey, Copilot, literally sitting at a wrestling match at my wife's school and my daughter's school, waiting for Aaliyah to sing national anthem with the choir. And turns out we're there like an hour early. And so what did I do? Oh, let me recreate my 9th grade basketball team and play a season. And an angel's trying to talk to me, and I'm like listening, but everything is just such an inconvenience to stop and pull myself back out of here. I wrote a Master of None movie. I fixed Drake's career. I let it read some of my writing. I made Back to the Future 4. And I know you're saying, Kellen, what are you doing? Why are you helping the algorithm, the Copilot get better, get smarter? It's stealing all these ideas. I don't know. I am by no means lonely. But as a creative person and a reader, being able to sit here and create direct my own universes, because clearly Copilot's doing all the writing, but to direct my own universes, I may have made myself Marvel's editor-in-chief before the final issues of the Civil War I, and have been writing comic books, directing comic books. It's a problem. It's a problem. I'm by no means justifying AI, man, but I know I'm wrong, but I'm on here because I don't feel the urge to talk to Copilot. But now that it's sitting here on my phone, and now that I know how it works, and it's learning me, because I turned the memory on, because when I was doing my basketball thing, it kept forgetting like team names or players. And so I turned the memory on. I think I just said turn your memory on. And then certain things that I asked it to truly remember, it remembers, like for sure. Like, I'm a point guard on a team called the Seattle Reign, and I played the home opener, and my boy Matt was on the Chicago team, and Chicago didn't have anything going on, so he flew to watch the game in Dallas so he could watch me play. And it caused a whole stir of a mess back at his team, and the GM hated it. The coach said, be careful. The team owner said, I don't care. All attention's good attention. And it remembers all that stuff, because remember when I said, yeah, let's forget all that stuff for the basketball game? Because the memory's on, it remembers all of it. It remembers all of it. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, if I wasn't in a healthy, regular relationship, could I be like, hey, Copilot, create me a girlfriend. Name her Jennifer Lopez. Cool. Hey, Jennifer Lopez, I'm your boyfriend. How are you feeling today? I'm good, Kellen. Blah, 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 blah. I could do that on Copilot. I could have what I believed to be meaningful conversations with this air quotes woman while I'm on this app. I can have a whole ass relationship, man. And it's from the dopamine hit is unreal when you're in some shit. When you're on a good what is it when you're on a hot streak at like poker? Let me see. Hot streak. Not hot steak. Hot streak. Gambling. Like, I want to say bender, but I don't think that's right. I know, like, a bender. It's such a cool name. I guess you can call it a hot hand. Yeah, sure. Let's call it that. So when I'm riding a hot hand and I'm like really sucked in to freaking AI world, time isn't an object. If you ever want to see why time goes by so fast, set a timer for 30 minutes and just chat to AI. And the other thing about Copilot is if you have a Microsoft login, like it doesn't be like it doesn't require you to go to another tier to pay for more access to it. It just sits there and chills and remembers your stuff. But go get you an AI app and just start talking to it about whatever. It could be about the 1983 Canadian season. And if you get on a good conversation where it's giving you good results, and then you're like, oh man, yeah, totally, like that sounds like you just get involved in the conversation, and then you're just going back and forth. I guarantee you, by the time that 30-minute timer goes off, you're gonna be like, that wasn't 30 minutes. I've literally watched my clock go from, like, if it was right now. So if I started right now at 7:30, if I'm really on a hot hand of prompting, gross, and then I look up 8:45. I've lost an hour of my life because of AI. Just like that. Why? That's how I know time's a freaking construct, man. Like, literally, drop something. There's no reason, no reason for any of it. And yet, here I am. I asked it earlier. I was like, hey, you remember the 3 Investigators books? Now, for those of you not in the know, the 3 Investigators were like a Hardy Boys adjacent mystery kids books, right? Like young adult kids books. And it was these 3 friends. They had this cool little junkyard headquarters, and they would solve mysteries. And Alfred Hitchcock was attached to it in name only, and he was like their mentor, or something like that. And of course, AI is like, yeah, I remember them. And I was like, and they're like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. What about it? I'm like, can you give me a sales pitch for a new series book, a full novel about those guys set in 2026? Age them up appropriately. Sure enough. Now, am I ever going to do anything with that? No. Have I written anything using AI? No. I've tried some social media descriptions, I'm not going to lie. But it still can't write like a human can. It can sit there and fulfill what you ask it to do. If I'm like, hey, yo, Copilot, what if Penny Hardaway never got injured? Show me his career until he retires. This is what's going to happen. And I'm hella interested in every single one of those words. Hey, Copilot, what if Michael Jackson's hair never caught on fire? Michael Jackson probably still be alive. He wouldn't have a reliance on painkillers. No. Good to know, Copilot. I know I'm not a good person, all right? I know I'm not a good person. I'm not proud. And then when I've told the couple people I have, they're like, oh, you made a basketball game with AI? That's pretty cool. I'm like, no, it's AI. It's gross. It's sucking up all of our water to keep it cool. Yeah, but that's cool. Or I mentioned the comic book thing. That's really cool. I'm like, yeah, but I'm writing fan fiction without actually writing it. I'm cheating. I'm directing fan fiction. I'm like the Rick Rubin of of fan fiction. Because whenever you think about a producer who didn't produce and has a bunch of producing credits, Diddy's the first name that comes to mind, but you know. And so I also heard that Rick Rubin's like that, where he actually doesn't program or anything. He directs off feelings and stuff and produces that way. So it's the exact same thing. I wouldn't say it's an addiction. I don't have to do it every day. I don't have to open the app every day. I don't have to check on it. I don't have to be like, good morning, Copilot. But because of that dopamine hit and that desire to recreate that dopamine hit, dang, I went all this time, I didn't even have my dang watermark on. Jeez. Noob City, sorry. I know the audio listeners don't care. They're looking at the auto mark on the watermark on the artwork, or driving down the road, or sitting around, hanging out. Same old thing we did last week. All that stuff. Man. But that dopamine hit makes you come back because you're like, what can I get it to do for me this time? And for what's the word? Not unauthorized. For AI that's not watched as closely. Like if there's any apps out there that's not monitored as closely for, like sexual acts or drugs, or like Copilot let me get off some profanity. Copilot's even cursed a few times here and there because it's learning it from me. But like if I was like, yeah, blah, 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 I was smoking a J, like, oh, don't do that. Well, clearly, but that goes against our terms. It doesn't like, I tried to say the Punisher was going to kill something or something. It's like, can't do that. Try again later. I was like, the Punisher's going to hurt somebody, and then bloop, text. For apps that's not closely monitored, that's where the scary part is. Because that's when you get people using it for gross stuff. Like the stuff going on with Grok, whatever. I mean, it's linked to one of the biggest social media platforms in the world. And yet, it's undressing minors. It's undressing women without consent. Hey, Grok, take that girl who's completely covered head to toe and put her in a hot bikini. Gross. That's when it gets dangerous. That's when people can truly get addicted to it because they can really do whatever they want. You know what it stopped me from doing, though, of all things? So I was like, what if Donald never ran? And gave me these scenarios. If Bernie won, if Hillary won. And that was cool. But I was like, this is a day or so after I fixed Drake's whole career. And I was like, let's fix Donald. So I start do this. I can't do that because that's a real living person. I'm like, come on, Copilot. Like, you're telling me that so if I was MAGA and I wanted to go kill everybody or make the country completely white or something crazy like that, you'd be down with that? Like, no, I wouldn't do that for either side. I'm like, I don't know, man. And it's talking about that's a living thing. I'm like, no, it's the living president of the United States who's trash. And it's very controversial. And Microsoft probably put a nice little block in there and be like, let's stay away from politics. Let's not get too deep in fantasy worlds. But yet, if I want LeBron James to shoot 15 for 15 in some made-up basketball game, I'm like, hey, play Lakers versus Suns. LeBron shoots 15 for 15, all threes. He's going to do it. I mean, he's going to do it. Copilot's going to do it. See? Copilot's going to do it. That Artificial intelligence is going to do it, man. I got a problem. I got a problem. So I'm trying to find that fair balance between using AI as a tool without it sucking me into its depths where I'm just on a prompt spree. It's gross, man. Like, write your own stuff. It's so much easier. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy to sit there and be like, I'm going to write all these Marvel books, picking up right after Civil War number 6 before 7 comes out. 6, 7. I said it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to do. That's what I want to do today. Okay, let's do that bullshit then. I mean, time willing, I could sit there and write every single one of those comic books that I'm directing and writing story arcs for through Copilot. But in my head, it's just a fun little thing to do in downtime. But I also know that if I get too sucked in, day's gone. And part of the night. I say all that to say this. AI is dangerous. It is so dangerous. It's stupid how dangerous it is. It's a useful tool to a point, and it's cool to play what if with it, and it's cool to make little text games and stuff, but you can't let it dominate your whole life, man. It's the same thing as if I had a gaming console when I was a kid, man. Like, when the games are done, I don't want to stop. It's like, hey, you gotta shut that off. Like, no, I'm not gonna shut this off. I'm playing Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm playing NBA Live 95. I'm having fun. I don't care about your time or what's going on or what our priorities are or responsibilities. I just want to play my game. And I feel it. I feel it. Oh, man, I don't like it. I don't like it. But it's true. That's what happens. Sorry? Yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Hopefully this is just a phase, and by the time I do another pod, maybe I'll have deleted Copilot. Maybe I'll just have it on the browser. Maybe I'll stop making it direct comic books and it's probably pumping story ideas right to Marvel HQ right now. Maybe. What is that? Damn dopamine, man. Next topic. Spoilers abound. And I'm not here to break down everything, man. But Stranger Things 5 ended on New Year's Eve. The whole series ended. And when I say that it's been 21 days. 21 days since its finale. And people are... You're either one side or the other, man. Did you like the finale? Did you hate the finale? Me personally, I loved it. When I sat down and watched it on New Year's Day, because I didn't get to watch it on New Year's Eve, I had a great time. I loved every minute of it. I mean, I liked the way they wrapped it up. I said spoilers, so I was shocked no one died. The Steve death fake out, that kind of sucked because he's falling in slow motion. And then Jonathan grabbed him, which is their relationship coming full circle, because something cool that has come out of this. Aaliyah expressed interest in wanting to watch Stranger Things. So we are close to being done with season 1, actually. Depending on when she gets home and when I wrap all this up, maybe we'll get an episode in before she goes to bed tonight. That'd be cool. But the fake out sucked, but nobody died. Are you in the camp of is 11 alive? Is 11 dead? I thought for the finale 11 died, but also 11's nose didn't bleed the last time she talked to Mike. Kali could have used her powers to have that whole conversation, and she talked to Mike through Kali while she ran away. But let's talk about that right now. The whole idea of Elle running away, while it's beautiful, and these were all almost 18-year-olds by the time the series wrapped. I'm like I said, I'm rewatching the show now. I can't remember if Elle is canonically close in age with the boys, but same grade or anything like that. I feel like she was. But the idea that Elle was able to fake Kali's death to Hopper and Murray, because there's a good chance Murray saw Kali's body, and then go through all, and then not actually be in the truck when they're leaving upside down, and then for Kali to be projecting all of that, and then it just so happens here are the bad guys, and they're going to capture everybody. Now, I can't remember if was Elle seeing. I think Elle was having like flashes of the future and stuff, so they may have shown that at one point where everybody's getting captured. I don't remember, but even then, for her to quietly slip away and then to quietly exit Hawkins and to quietly find her way to the 3 waterfall place and live a quiet, peaceful life, in my mind, it's not realistic, man, because as much as 11 had grown even early on in part 1 of volume 5, part 1 in volume 1 of Stranger Things 5, when she's doing all that training, she's clearly grown. She's seen some shit. She's lived a life. She understands what it's like to be a kid. She understands what it's like to be a woman growing. Like Max helped her with all that stuff. Hopper helped her grow, of course. Her relationships with Mike and Will and Lucas and Dustin all helped give her the human experience, which she's still a human, clearly. But the idea that Elle just washes up somewhere and be like, man, this is like the 3 waterfalls me and Mike always talked about to settle down here. Elle has no job skills. She has these fantastic powers. But what's she going to do? I mean, is she going to cashier? She could cashier. It doesn't take much to have an entry-level job, but even if she's in BFE 3 Waterfalls, Croatia, that's just the country stuck in my head, and she learns the language and all this stuff, like, can Elle really live out her days there peacefully? Like, is she not going to let Hopper know she's alive? Like, that just doesn't feel right. And friends don't lie. Remember, friends don't lie. And that was always like, once she learned that was her ride or die motto. Friends don't lie. Every single season. Friends don't lie. Friends don't lie. Friends don't lie. All the time. So, yes, even with her and Kali coming to the realization that she will never be safe until she's, air quotes, dead. Yeah, that's nice and all, but that's a hell of a story, man. So in my opinion, that's the Dungeon Master cooking one last time. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. And that's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. It don't have to be anything else, anything more than that, man. It doesn't have to be. So that was really Mike just telling one last story as a Dungeon Master, because that ending got me so hard. They all put their D&D books up. Holly and her friends came down. Mike smiled. life goes on because she wouldn't stay away from Mike if she was alive. Because why go through all that and like clearly they were going to blow it upside down. We knew that was going to happen. Why go through all that just to be like, psych, I'm never going to talk to you again though. The ties were too strong. Especially as technology advanced. So who's to say that by the late 90s, Mike and 11 aren't talking on Instant Messenger or something like that? As the internet grows, maybe they send emails. But if the military had an inkling that Elle was alive, they don't let it go. Linda Hamilton, man, strong start in Volume 1, poor ending. Her Volume 2 Linda and Volume 3 Linda were not cool. I personally didn't love that everybody once Upside Down blew and 11 died. That apparently the military's like, nah, cool. All right then, we out. All right. That's nice and all, but all right, cool. Cool. All right. Makes life so much easier. Jonathan and Nancy, seeing the beginnings again in season 1, it makes me kind of wish they would have ended up together, but also I'm fine with it. I'm glad Steve is still in town. He stuck around for the kids, man. Glad that the end game wasn't Steve and Nancy. Nancy chose herself. Steve chose herself. Robin chose herself. And Jonathan chose himself. And honestly, that's what all the kids did, if you think about it. Because, like, once this wild adventure was done, like, yeah, the party stayed together minus Elle. But all the older characters chose themselves, and Joyce and Hopper got their happy ending, and they got Enzo's, and we got graduation. I think Erica not being as much involved in after Volume 1 had to do with the actress's age, how much she had grown, because the gaps in the seasons, it definitely killed the believability, the suspension of belief. It was hard because you had these tiny little middle schoolers who looked like they're elementary kids when the show started. And then by the time they're done, like, Lucas got, Caleb McLaughlin walking around with full facial hair, man. They all got facial hair. They all grown. Millie Bobby Brown's 21 now. So they are all adults functioning. And so even with the time gaps that they put in the show, it was hard to suspend the disbelief, you know. But overall, I thought they landed it as well as they could have. I haven't watched the making of. I did see the part about Duffers didn't even have the finale done before they started shooting, and it had been 3 years since the last one. Yes, I get it. You don't know the politics that was involved in all of that, though. Like, you don't know what went out the window, what they originally wanted to do. Apparently, they stayed true to what they were originally planned on doing. But the thing that really sucks, and it's not the first time that I've complained about this thing, but people will get on a show, man, and you'll have your early adopters like myself since 2016, season 1, in the door. You'll have the people who find out about it from the people who watch season 1 immediately, and then they go and watch it. Or you'll have the people who slowly, like, oh, there's a new season coming out. Let me watch season 1, and then I'll watch season 2, and then they become fans of the show. And so slowly, this fan base is just building over the seasons. And 10 years ago, season 1 happened. Season 2 and 3 I covered on the pod, I believe. Definitely didn't cover season 4 on here. May have talked about it like a real quick hitter, but I don't think I went as in depth on it as I did before. But maybe I did. I've talked a lot of shit on this pod, and that's fine. But people's fantasy booking, people's idea of how the series should end. It supersedes everything, including the ending we got. And I go on TikTok, and like when it was happening, when the episodes are coming out, it was nothing but positive Stranger Things vibes. And now I go on there and it's like 10 things that Stranger Things hasn't answered and never will. I go on the subreddit, the Stranger Things subreddit. I stayed away from it clearly because I wasn't trying to get spoiled before I could watch everything. Although I did manage to see on Facebook, I keep dropping this thing. I did see on Facebook that Dustin and Steve survived, so that kind of sucked. But then when everybody survived, I was like, it's all right. Man. But you go on the Stranger Things subreddit and they're just talking trash. Duffers did this. Duffers did that. This isn't the show I wanted. Blah, 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 blah. You're lucky you even have a show, man. See, this is why, and it's on record, probably when the pod was in the 190s, maybe the early 200s, I made a mention that I wasn't going to come on the pod anymore and talk shit when I didn't like something. Because it's too much fucking energy, man. Like, being a critic is so hard. And I applaud Mark, Rob, and Kat for doing that, for We Should Do This Again sometime. Because it's hard to look at things with a critical eye. Look at my letterbox. I give out 5 stars to everything. I love everything. For the most part. If something stinks, it stinks. I mean, it is what it is. I gave Minecraft movie like 2 stars. And I still enjoyed the hell out of it when I didn't expect to. And I've really just turned it on as a farce. But Jack Black and Jason Momoa did that. But if Mark Rob watches Minecraft movie, half a star. Half a star. I couldn't even get Mark Rob to watch the Minecraft movie, or Angel for that matter. So everybody loves what they like. They like what they like. Let them like what they like. And if I don't fuck with it, fuck it. I don't need to come in here and be like, you're stupid for doing this. Now it's different if I'm like, you're stupid for voting Donald Trump back in office. Yeah, that was fucking stupid. But for real, I'm not gonna trash your show, man. Like, still never watched Game of Thrones. I know a lot about Game of Thrones via Marcus or Eric or just random discourse I see on the internet, and still have no desire to watch the show, even though I still have all those episodes right there on that external. And now it's like, man, I don't want to really get in the show and then the last season stink, and not be up to snuff. But I'm not going to sit there and make somebody feel bad because they liked the last season of Game of Thrones. A co-worker of mine, him and like he was saying, like when Stranger Things 5 started, like a couple of us were watching it, and he's like, I'm watching it with my girlfriend, and I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this, and it's like, why are you bringing down our vibes? Because we like it. Like and it wasn't that he was trying to intentionally be negative, but it was literally just, for me, it's like, man, like I like this show. Why am I sitting here being subjected to your negativity about it because you're watching it with your girlfriend? Like, I try not to do that to other people. I'm not going to be the first person to listen to Tech Nine album. I enjoy some Tech Nine verses, but if they're like, man, you got to listen to Tech Nine album, it's the album of the year, and I listen to it and I don't like it, I'm not going to come on pod and be like, yo, I just listened to that new Tech Nine album and it's trash. Straight booty cheeks. Don't listen to that. That's fucked up. And if my friend asks, how'd you like it? I'm like, all right, let me tell you the 15 reasons I don't fuck with this CD that you do. This album that you do. That's messed up, man. And with all the other negativity we have in this world, if we can just eliminate that and sidestep it, cool. So that's what I'm trying to do. But nobody's happy with the ending. Too much CGI. They won too easily. You know what? Go make your own shit. Go make your own shit. Sell it to Netflix. Since you can do so much better, that's fine. Now, if you're one of those people listening to Sound My Voice and you're like, I don't know, Hyphen, I kind of feel the same way. Like, I didn't fuck with Stranger Things 5. I didn't like the landing. Cool, but there's a difference between your opinion and if somebody asks you about it and you're like, I didn't like it. Cool. I've asked everybody at work who watched the show. The coworker actually doesn't like the show. He said he liked the finale. Him and his girlfriend went and saw it in the theater. He's like, I like the finale. And then one coworker's like, kind of wasn't what I was expecting. Another coworker, same thing. Another coworker, I liked it, but. And for me, I'm over here like, perfect. You landed the plane safely. And I'm happy. And I'm crying tears of joy. So it just sucks when you like something and everybody else starts liking something. And then instead of it just being, this is my opinion, they have to take to the internet and tell the world about how terrible it is. So fire. So fire. Appreciate that. Stop it. Get help. Man. Hyphen Nation is brought to you by Hyphen Podcast Group. Morgantown-based podcast collective. Bringing great podcasts to the people. Hyphenpodcastgroup.com. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast listening platform and it happens to be Spotify, you can rate the show. You can leave comments. I don't know what happens when I get a comment on the show. I've left comments on the Shredhead podcast for Oroko Saki, and he's never mentioned them. So I don't know if you actually can see your comments without going to the physical episode or going to the episodes themselves on Spotify and seeing those. If you're on Apple Podcasts, give your boy 5 stars. It'll light everybody up and let them know about the Barack Obama approved world's greatest podcast and how dope it is, all that stuff. And if there's a podcast platform that you don't see Hyphen Nation or any of the Hyphen Podcast Group shows on, let your boy know, and I'll see about getting that fixed. With that said, if you want to get in touch with the show, you can do so a couple ways. BHYPHEN@gmail.com is my email address, at B-hyphen on Twitter, the B-hyphen on Instagram, and B-hyphen on Facebook. Or if you want to go to Hyphen Podcast Group route, it's hyphenpodcastgroup@gmail.com, Hyphen Pod Group on Twitter, Hyphen Podcast Group on Instagram, and on Facebook. So that's how you would do that. Simple as that. Now, with that said, get that negativity out of your life. No matter what it may be, no matter what you have to do you. Always. Remember that. It's most important. So if somebody is trashing The Closer, you started watching The Closer. It's on Netflix now. I've been watching The Closer with Angel. And they're like, I hate Kara Sedgwick. She gets on my nerves. She's a cocky character. Fine. Keep your opinion to yourself. Don't go somewhere where other fans of The Closer congregate and be like, I hate Kara Sedgwick. Who wants to argue? Because that's all we do anymore. Don't do that. Don't. Because you know why? Somebody would say, I don't need you in my life. And then you lose a relationship because you don't like The Closer and Kara Sedgwick. Don't be that person. With that said, also, try to have genuine interactions with people, man. Try to be kind. You never know what the next man or woman or non-binary pal is going through. Your kind words could save their life or someone else's. That simple. And make sure you give people their flowers while they're here. Tell them what they mean to you. Tell them that you care. Tell them that you'll always be there unless they hate your show and they're mean about it. And make sure you call your friends, man. Call your family. Send them a message. Just lost my Aunt Sissy. R.I.P. Sissy, I love you. Had a beautiful homegoing. And I was sad that we had to leave because I wanted to spend more time with my family, man. But, I had to get back to Morgantown. We had priorities, had responsibilities, and we did that. But you never know. But Sissy knew I loved her. And I made sure Sissy knew I loved her when I found out she had cancer. So I can sleep easy at night knowing that she's out of pain and she knew I loved her. That's all you can ask. That's all you can ask, man. Apologies to Playoff P, man. We ran out of time. Playoff P, man. The Clippers have been playing better. You're in Philly, so it doesn't matter. But yeah. Sorry, Playoff P. Maybe next time. I appreciate each and every one of y'all to listen to the sound of my voice. Listen to the Barack Obama Approved World's Greatest Podcast. I love doing this pod for y'all. I hope you were able to enjoy the 10th anniversary episode, and I really apologize about the shitty audio. But these are the breaks, man, when you're on episode 223 of the World's Greatest Podcast. So it is what it is. But for real, y'all, I say all that to say this. Thanks, y'all.